Hey, I'm going to try to fit in a quick video before my husband comes in to get ready to go to soccer. This wasn't really the haircut I wanted. I'm wearing my daughter's little headband for now until I get some for myself. But anyway, not taking it super personally. Not a big deal. Um, so yeah, I just saw a Facebook post that said basically, how a lot of people are going to get into the afterlife. However you conceptualize that, and of course, this could just be a conceptualization itself. I mean, whatever it is, everything we can access as human minds is probably conceptualization, but a useful one sometimes. So, imagine we think this life is to achieve, acquire, um, yeah, and it's kind of a cliche, but um, to say that it's not, but really living as if it's not is something that so many people have such a hard time with. And yeah, I just it thinking in this particular way about what stories you're gonna have to tell, at the end of your life, because you have nothing. You cannot take any of this with you other than the experiences. And, um, you know, it doesn't have to be some kind of, like, badass experiences either. Um, I'm kind of comparing my 20s to my 30s to my 40s. Um, my 20s could make a great book or movie. My 30s, not so much. My 40s, we're kind of back into territory where things get interesting again, in my opinion. Um, but it's mostly an internal journey. It's a journey to exactly where I am, and it's fascinating. It's as fascinating as traveling the world or more, you know. And I'm glad I traveled the world because it's like that's in my back pocket now. I kind of know the world. It's like my neighborhood, and I kind of know people. I know by my own experience that people are not different anywhere. Um, So I had some other thoughts about other videos that I sort of skipped or were left out. Um, One of them is, I mentioned that validation for these videos or my journals or even my books, um, how meaningless that is in general because nobody had my experiences and nobody knows me as well as I know myself. But it's even more than that because by the time they give me validation for something I did even 1 day ago, much less 10 years ago, I'm not even the same person, so they're validating somebody who doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah, just thought that was kind of funny. An extra layer of, non-usefulness of validation. Uh, and then last thing, quickly, I had a couple of videos about what's the worst that could happen if I take this non-dual path, and it was mostly about sort of things that like being fooled or being, I don't remember what I said even, but even if I am fooled, what's the worst that can happen then? I recognize the humanity of everyone. I love everyone. Um, I guess the worst that can happen is that I don't. Potentially, I could be less effective on the relative sense, and fooled about the fact that the relative sense is all there is. So you might as well, go hard on the relative sense, and um, that's the best you can do. But that makes me miserable. So I mean, maybe the point of life is to be miserable so somebody else can be happy someday. I mean, that is kind of our Western ethos. Be miserable now so that somebody else or you can be happy later. That's how we work. That's how we operate. There's never now. There's no mechanism for getting to now. So, yeah, it's kinda like the question of what's the worst that could happen if we the climate scientists are all wrong, there's no global warming, but, "Oh, no, we end up with sustainable clean energy too early, earlier than we needed to." Like, what a terrible thing. Some CEOs lose money. "Oh, no. Oh, please. Oh, the humanity." And the worst that can happen in the other direction is we're seeing it happen already with, Hurricane Helene and 1,000 other things. So, yeah, and, Matt what's his name? Matt something. He's another non-dual guy. He's a really young guy. Um, he was talking about, in a video I watched recently about sovereignty, and I can feel that more and more, just that yeah, that's a good word for it. It's not like I rule anything or I control anything. It's more like I'm not so affected by anything. I'm not looking around. Who's gonna tell me what to do next? I can just rest in if I feel like doing nothing, I do nothing. It's fine. The world's not gonna come crashing down if I do what I wanna do, even, like, between now and December, say. Give myself that much time, and then maybe extend that a little bit, who knows? But, yeah, it's crazy to think how much we think the world will be destroyed if we don't kill ourselves. We don't make ourselves miserable one way or another. So, that's it for today, or at least for right now. Cheers.